It's time for Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Now let's have some fun. Here is your host, Johnny Radio.
Yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Brian Dacus all day long, all day strong. It is a Thirsty Thursday. I love a good Thirsty Thursday. I've always thought about Thirsty Thursdays like this, man. Thursday, I made it to Thursday. Monday I'm good. Tuesday I'm good. Wednesday I'm good. Thursday, I have myself a little bit of Tito's. But Dacus, I found something out today. It was really weird. All of a sudden, I'm on my little X, formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, you turned me off.
What happened to you?
You turned me off.
I didn't turn you off.
I did disappear. I don't know if you noticed. It
Yeah, I
went
know.
silent.
I don't know what happened.
Your magic fingers.
Huh.
You're the only person that can shut me up.
That's right. How about
what
that?
A gift.
The power I hold.
What a gift that you have. But Thirsty Thursdays, I always think about a little bit of Tito's. I'm going to watch a little football. I'm going to get down with this, that, and the other. And then I was on X, and Thirsty Thursday was actually trending. Did you know that? Have you ever seen Thirsty Thursday trending?
I have not.
Well, let me just tell you something. Thirsty Thursday is not what I thought it was. It was a bunch of, women, when they take pictures of themselves and they put it out there on the X, they call themselves thirst traps. Did you know this?
Yeah.
The young kids are doing this.
Sure.
Even some older women are doing this, like my age type women. Probably shouldn't be doing it because they're my age, but I was like, oh my goodness, this has got to be brought by Tito's. And then the things that I saw on the X, I didn't know that you could put that stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, no, Twitter's a wild place right now.
Yeah, I had an interesting morning. Spent probably a little bit too much time scrolling through Thirsty Thursdays. But today, we have a great show on a beautiful Thirsty Thursday. Isaac Simpson's going to join us. We're definitely going to talk about that Grizzlies game. We're going to talk about Taylor Jenkins, of course. Taylor Jenkins getting out-coached by a former member on his staff. The Raptors got the best of the Grizzlies. They just, in the fourth quarter, the Grizzlies can be the Grizzlies. It's like, what happens to the other three, and how do you come out so flat? I know they played on a game with a back-to-back, but it did hurt my heart because my mom and my dad were down there in the Madonna School. They did the little halftime performance. I love the Madonna School. Hope all you people do. By the way, you should buy some food from them. Did you know that you could buy food that's already cooked?
I did not know that, no.
Let me tell you something, son. Straight fire. But last night, the Grizzlies were not on fire. They did not get it done. We got Isaac Simpson today at 11:30. We're going to talk everything. We're going to talk all about them Grizzlies. We're definitely going to talk about Taylor Jenkins. Taylor Jenkins was definitely trending on my timeline today. A lot of people, from Anthony Sane to Isaac Simpson to Jessica Benson, C.J. Hurt. Everybody was dropping their, 2 cents in last night. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. At 12:30, Evie Van Pelt. You know those Ole Miss Rebels who won that Peach Bowl? We're definitely going to talk about them. They took care of business. Chris Beard's taking care of business. Everything is pushing daisies down in Oxford, so we're definitely going to get deep up in a little Ole Miss Rebels. We're going to talk about the Memphis Tigers. Dadgummit, when do the Tigers play again?
Tonight.
Oh, that's right, against Austin Peay. Nope.
John, you buried the lead on Ole Miss.
What's the lead?
That Quinshon Judkins is in the transfer portal.
Well, KJ Jefferson also signed with the University of Central Florida.
He sure did, yeah.
Do I want to talk about Quinshon Judkins getting in the transfer portal? Not really. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to get him out of it.
I mean, hey, I know one way to do it.
That's one question for Evie Van Pelt in the Grove Collective, and I have a feeling, in my heart of hearts, just so Ole Miss fans know, and I was going to bring this more up at noon, but I do believe Quinshon Judkins will be back.
I think so, too. I think he's playing his cards right.
Yes, this is called a Walter Nolan, I learned from this man. Like, you go out there, and Walter Nolan got $1.2 million. Did you know that?
Yeah.
$1.2 million. What's the best offensive weapon probably for the Ole Miss Rebels? There's so many damn weapons. But Quinshon Judkins is one of the best. His freshman year, nobody had played the way he had since Herschel Walker. I think Quinshon will be back. So Ole Miss fans, don't worry about Jackson Dart. Don't worry about Quinshon. Keep buying, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I love Tito's, but buy that Grove Collective vodka. Buy that Grove Collective beer. And by the way, is there another school in the country whose collective is making beer and vodka to sell to their students to make enough money to pay for their athletes like Ole Miss? I don't think so.
Good question.
By the way, how smart is that?
It's very smart.
You make your own booze and you sell it to all those kids in the fraternities and the sororities. And I don't know if you know this, Ole Miss is kind of a party school.
Sure is.
They get down. So I think Quinshon's going to be back. We're going to talk a lot about some college football because we got to talk about Washington, Michigan, number one defense versus the pass, number one defense overall in Michigan, best offensive line in college football, best quarterback playing currently right now, absolutely Michael Penix Jr. We're going to get into all that. And we talked about a little bit Ole Miss, but I think it's absolutely wild that KJ Jefferson is going to be at Central Florida. You know they're in the Big 12 now.
Mm-hmm.
If I say this, will you think I'm crazy? In Gus Malzahn's system, could KJ Jefferson go Cam Newton-esque?
Could.
Look at the way that Gus always uses his quarterbacks. Didn't we always say at Arkansas that KJ didn't run the ball enough?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't. Dude, he's a big body. Against the Big 12, these aren't SEC defenses. Yeah, I'm an SEC homer. I'm telling you, I think that Central Florida got them a deadgum stud. So I'm fired up to talk a little bit about some college football today. And then there's the NFL Pro Bowl. Did you pay any attention to this?
No.
Why?
Because it's the Pro Bowl.
Well, because they play flag football now, so it's not that fun?
No, I mean, it's like 4 weeks away. I'll find out who's playing, when they play.
But see, my favorite thing to do is
night.
think about people who got snubbed.
That's, yeah, I know. It's everybody's favorite thing to do. I'll be honest, John, I haven't even seen the list.
You have not even. Oh my goodness.
No.
Okay, so I got a couple nuggets for you.
Okay.
All right. So you do know that Sauce Gardner is a pretty good football player.
I do.
Buda Baker is a pretty good football player too.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that Sauce Gardner was better than Derek Stingley this year? Nope.
No, probably not.
Do you think Antoine Whitfield Jr. got outplayed by Buda Baker this year? I'm going to tell you right now, it's a hell no.
I do like Buda Baker, though.
I like Buda Baker, but damn, Buda's been around for so long. He's been around since the original Buda. Right now, I mean, him at safety, he ain't playing. Man, he ain't doing jack. How many forced fumbles do you think he's caused this year?
3.
0. How many fumble recoveries does he have?
3.
0. How many sacks does he have?
3.
0. How many interceptions does he have? Damn it.
0.
Dude, you finally got the answer.
All right, thank you.
Antoine Winfield Jr. has 3 interceptions, 5 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, and 5 sacks. Yet Antoine Winfield Jr. wasn't put on the Pro Bowl? Like, look, I know I'm not the brightest guy on planet Earth, but I can say 0, 0, 0, 0 across the board and say, nope, you're not more deserving than him. But Antoine Winfield Sr., did you hear what he did today?
I did not.
He jumped all over the X, and he said, I demand a recount. Somebody has to explain me this. Ain't no way in hell Buda Baker goes to the Pro Bowl ahead of my little man with no stats. I know how important the Pro Bowls are, especially on your resume, and it just happens to be his contract year. He puts a little, that little circle-y yellow guy that goes,
Yeah. And
things that make you go,
Uh-huh.
Things that make you go, Antoine Winfield Sr. is like, a contract year, and he didn't make the Pro Bowl? He said, we ain't going for this bad word called BS. He says, somebody needs to holla at me. And a bunch of the red faces that you would see a bunch of cuss words, but it has a black mark, and it has like an exclamation point and I don't know, some other little markings.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, Antoine Whitfield Sr. is extremely ticked off. I don't blame him. And again, Derek Stingley, did you know that he was the only cornerback taken ahead of Sauce Gardner? And in his rookie year, he was injured basically the whole season.
That's right.
And everybody was just killing him and saying, oh, my God, I can't believe anybody took somebody over Sauce Gardner. Well, Derek Stingley this year has been the superior cornerback, period. C.J. Stroud, by the way. Did you know he's not on this deadgum thing?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Josh Allen's not. Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I think the biggest snub of them all, Brandon Ayuk.
Did see that. I got a notification saying Brandon Ayuk was not on it.
My man has 1,300 yards, 1,317 to be exact. That's impressive, right?
Very impressive.
Well, A.J. Brown, Puka Nacua, they have reached the 1,400 mark. But A.J. Brown has 151 receptions. Puka Nacua has 147. So far, Brandon Ayuk only has 97 receptions. Yet this guy, according to PFF, is the best wide receiver in football. His route running, his separation, his 90% reception rate on targets. Brandon Ayuk is absolutely destroying people. The fact that he was left out, it's just deadgum foolish.
Yeah, that one blew me away. That is crazy.
And by the way, his quarterback's Brock Purdy.
That's right.
I mean, it ain't like the guy's any good.
Former MVP frontrunner.
Nope. That's Lamar Jackson now, buddy.
Well, that's why I said former. That's why I said former, John. Because for a couple of weeks, people wanted you to believe that he was going to be your MVP winner.
Yeah, I was snorting some of that. I was mainlining it. I was taking a little Brock Purdy love back
Everybody
then.
was, John. I mean,
and I also need to apologize to Lamar Jackson.
Do you? Why?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you know. I guess, yes, you weren't doing my show, but, for like 3 years, 2 years at least, I was talking about how Lamar Jackson's 1-3 in the playoffs, never healthy in December, can't get it done. You got to throw the ball better in the National Football League. And then all of a sudden, Todd Monken comes in there and opens things up and actually pushes the ball down the field to the wide receivers. And guess what? Lamar Jackson can throw the damn football.
Sure can.
That's why he won a Heisman when he was at Louisville.
That's right.
It's kind of the offense that they ran when they were at Louisville. I'm telling you, Lamar Jackson, MVP, lock. You know he's not going to play this weekend.
Yeah, nobody's playing. And I heard OBJ may or may not be renting a yacht for all of them to go out on.
Ooh. OBJ a yacht?
Stay off that yacht,
The day that
fellas.
Jeffrey Epstein's list came out?
Oh, man.
Man. Hey, I'm just saying, OBJ, be careful, okay?
I was
Don't
more
do anything
referencing
crazy.
to the last time OBJ got a boat and had all of his
Yeah,
teammates,
he played
offensive
terrible.
weapons, come out on it. That was back with the
And a lot of
Giants.
people killed him for that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I ain't worried about no yacht. I ain't worried about no yacht. I just don't want him flying on the Lolita Express. That's it. By the way, that did come out today, didn't it?
I think so.
Did Aaron Rodgers, was he right or wrong?
I actually think it came out yesterday. He was wrong.
Man, are you sure? I mean, I haven't been paying attention.
I haven't
It
either,
keeps
but
popping up.
I saw somebody
on
tweet and say that he wasn't on it, and so that Aaron Rodgers was wrong.
I noticed that basically all the presidents have been on there. Trump was on there. Clinton was on there.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican.
I don't know anything about any of it, so
Seems
I'd
like
be
these
the
powerful
wrong
people.
person to talk to about it.
I shouldn't even be talking about it because I ain't looking into it. I just kind of you know how you got these notifications on your phone.
Yeah. Oh, everybody was notifying me about it.
It was
last night.
it was kept popping up,
Everybody, yeah.
and I'm going, man, I don't know why aren't they showing me like gambling advice. I need something that I'm interested in.
I think you have the wrong apps giving you notifications.
Yeah, the wrong apps were notifying me yesterday, and it was extremely difficult. But this week again, we're going to talk about the Pro Bowl. We're going to talk a lot about Washington and Michigan, the Grizzlies. We got NBA action. We got to talk about them Tigers, them Memphis Tigers, man, on the road again. What's the line on that game? 10.5?
9.5.
9.5.
Well, okay, I should look because yesterday
I was gonna say it was
either
10.5.
9 or 9.5, but
when
now
I
that you say
first
10.5, it's Memphis minus 10.
So we were both right and both wrong.
Correct.
We were just half a point off.
And I've also been looking at Greg's lines this morning. He has it at
Greg Peterson.
Yeah, he has a Memphis -9.5.
What is his Twitter handle?
G-Unit_87 or something like that.
He's the last dude who should be the G-Unit, by the way.
G-Unit_81.
G-Unit.
That's right.
Like, he's such
Say it loud and proud.
Say it loud and proud. But yeah, we talked a little bit about some National Football League news, and I got to remind you again, we have some big games. We don't have any. Did you know we have no football tonight?
Yeah, no Thursday night football. How about that?
I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Watch some college basketball.
Is there some games that I should be interested in other than the Memphis Tigers?
Probably not.
I mean, I know they're playing Tulsa. But
they're playing Tulsa. And David Jones, will he play? Won't he play? Ooh.
Fill me in.
It was reported the other day that he was sick, and he hasn't practiced all week.
Everybody in Memphis is sick.
Everybody in Memphis.
Hey, tough it up, bucko. I'm on the radio.
Oh, hey,
let me just tell you something. I came into work with what? Hold on. Look what's in my pocket. I got nasal spray, Zicam. I got Robitussin over here. I'm sipping on some Tussin. By the way, back in the day, we used to get this stuff, we used to get syrup. When I was growing up, they didn't let us feel like this.
Yeah.
They would give us this syrup that had crushed up pills in it. And it was like Tussin. It's what it's like the lean. It's what Jamarcus Russell got addicted to. But man, but it had like chunky bits in it. 901-360-8255 if you remember the good old days.
I used to take codeine as a kid.
I mean, what, was your mom just giving you codeine? Like this is probably not a good idea. Were you sick or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when I was sick.
But did you get the good Tussin?
No, just regular codeine.
Man, they had like this gold Tussin. They had this blue Tussin.
No, I didn't get any of that.
Like, man, and now you can't even get, like, they don't even give you anything anymore. Remember when I broke my hand?
Yeah, John, I remember. I wasn't here I was here when you broke your hand, but I was not working when you came in after you broke your hand.
You know what the homie told me to take?
What he tell you?
He goes, man, you can take an aspirin with an ibuprofen.
Smart.
And I said, man, my hand is broken. If you don't give me something that's a script, I'm going to be extremely upset. Broken hand, ibuprofen, and acetaminophen. Lordy, have mercy. Memphis, Tulsa, tonight, 7 o'clock. You can watch it on ESPN Plus if you got it. Again, they're a 10-point favorite currently. Not a lot on the slate when it comes to college hoops. Colorado does play Arizona tonight. That's a late game at about 8:30 on ESPN. This Colorado basketball team, I've been high on about their offensive production.
Yeah, I can't stand Colorado.
Playing Arizona tonight, they don't have enough firepower to even keep up with Arizona. I know FAU beat them, they're good, but Arizona can get up and down the court faster than anybody in the country. Like, they just take rebounds and turn them into layups like nobody's business. They don't play defense like Nolan Richardson's teams or anybody, but do you remember those teams that used to just get out and run?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I mean, this Arizona team's good. They've dropped a couple of games. I still have them as my my national champion, and I think this is what their second or third game in conference play. They lost to like Stanford, which was not a great loss. So they're going to certainly.
It's kind of hard to get
back
up for Stanford. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they
like
Stanford
you're playing
UCLA as well. So I mean Stanford. I mean UCLA's no good, but Stanford maybe a team to keep an eye on.
We're definitely keep an eye on that. Again, we have the Grizzlies.
Here we go. I'm sorry, John. I finally found a tweet. Jason Munns. This was, what's today's date? The 4th. This was 2 days ago. So on Tuesday, Penny says David Jones sick and Caleb Mills hip injury have not practiced this week, which would include both Monday and Tuesday. So we still don't know if either will play. I'm guessing they will. Certainly, probably David Jones. I don't know about Caleb Mills with that hip injury, but certainly David Jones, guy that Kevin Sweeney, who joins us every week, me and Brett. He had him as a midseason All-American.
All-American. Here's what you hear.
What are you flapping around, John?
These are Sudafed. Also, I forgot to tell you, I also brought Sudafed. The kind that you have to buy from like over the counter from, and you have to give your license because they think you're going to go make meth out of it or something. Like, John, I got a chemistry degree? Do I look like somebody who can make meth? No.
John, they've started locking up NyQuil.
Really?
Yeah,
I guess I'm gonna have to go buy some.
I went to a Walgreens the other day. This was probably like 6 months ago now. And I had to go find somebody to unlock
The NyQuil?
Yes, it was like behind like some plastic.
Was the DayQuil
barrier.
locked up, or is it just the NyQuil?
I don't remember, but I was in there getting NyQuil, and it was like back in the like fall or spring, and I my allergies were real bad, so I went to go get some NyQuil and some like what do you take for like allergies? Like Zyrtec. And I went
Claritin.
back. Yeah, it's basically same thing. Just different brands. And so I go back there, and I'm like, I'm trying to find it. I can't find it anywhere. And I finally look behind this like little plastic barrier, and sure enough, there's the NyQuil. I have to go find somebody. Hey, can you unlock the NyQuil for me? And he goes, what do you need it for? Because I'm sick. What do you mean, what do I need it for? And so he was like, yeah, sure. And so he goes and unlocks. I was like, why are y'all... He goes, dude, people come in and steal them, and you don't know what they'll use NyQuil for. And I was like, okay. And so then I went and bought them, and then I had to show my ID to the lady up front just to buy some NyQuil. It's ridiculous.
My buddy Cub Montague, remember how he texted me yesterday and fixed me on the Caitlin Clark situation?
That's right. Yes.
Well, he texted me just now the list from from Pedophile Island.
Okay.
And what's his name? Jeffrey Epstein.
That's right.
There's a lot of dudes on it.
Interesting.
A lot of bad people, a lot of powerful people in that bad boy. Thank you very, very, very much. After he sent me that, I had actually something important that I was going to say.
But you're all focused on that, and
it's amazing how fast my little brain can go
it happens,
from one thought to another and completely not remember the thought that I had previously. But we are going to talk a little bit of Tigers because they play Tulsa tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN+. We're going to talk about the Grizzlies' loss last night, Taylor Jenkins, and that and so much more because Isaac Simpson joins us on the other side. Sports 56 on a Thursday, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Experience the taste of Italy at Little Italy's newest location in East Memphis at Massey and Poplar. Little Italy has great Italian food with all your favorite dishes, from lasagna, rigatoni vodka, Alfredo, even lobster ravioli. Try Little Italy's very generous hot calzone, stuffed with your choice of meats and melted cheeses. East Memphis Little Italy wants to spoil you with a piece of Italy you can feel, taste, see, enjoy, and eat. East Memphis Little Italy, hidden in the back at the corner of Massey and Poplar.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-364-1031 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-364-1031. That's 800-364-1031. What do you have to lose? Call 800-364-1031. Again, 800-364-1031.
Most folks don't realize this fact. Our country is only 4 missed meals away from chaos, and those meals can vanish fast. In a national emergency, fragile supply chains break down and will wipe grocery store shelves clean in a matter of hours. Before this happens, there's something you should do today. That's stock up on emergency food storage. My Patriot Supply is the company millions of American families trust for their emergency supplies. You should too. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and secure their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits. Each kit contains delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. My Patriot Supply also sells large solar generators, gravity-powered water filtration systems, off-grid room heaters for when the power goes out, heirloom seeds, and other survival necessities. Order by 3 p.m. and your items ship the same day, fast. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now. Those who know what's coming prepare before the chaos starts. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
The only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Brian Dacus is hanging out with me. It is a thirsty Thursday. Be careful, though, Googling Thirsty Thursday on Thursdays, because it doesn't show exactly what I absolutely thought it was going to on your ex. Maybe it's my ex.
I think it is your ex.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. Isaac Simpson will know. He's always on the X. He's tweeting, he's Xing, he's doing his thing, and he's always just talking and keeping the people informed. I think he's the best in the business. If you care about the Grizzlies, check out the Ethos Grizzlies podcast, and don't forget to follow him at IsaacW_NBA. And if you're a Tiger fan, TigerSportsReport.com, man. Happy New Year, Isaac. What's up?
Man, what up, John? I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm high on Zicam, Sudafed, Robitussin, Tylenol. You know, I got that Memphis funk going on right now like everybody else, so taking as much as I can. How are you doing?
Man, I can't complain. I've got Tiger basketball tonight, so I'm excited, man.
Well, I am excited about the Tulsa game. It's a 10-point line right now. They haven't played since Austin P. Penny was furious after the basketball game, saying that's not how they play, that they're going to have to show up on defense. Do you expect to see a complete different Tiger team tonight? And is like early on, like, you know, it's not even noon, but I'm looking for some action. It's Thursday night. There's no football. Is this something where you might want to lay the 10 points because this Tiger team might come out a little bit ticked off?
Man, I'm kind of nervous. I'm gonna be honest. Man, you talk about Penny being pissed off after the Austin P game as well as he should. I mean, that's 2 games in a row where this team just hasn't come out with the focus that they should. I guarantee you put a Kentucky jersey or a Duke jersey on the other side, and you would have saw a completely different performance. And the thing about this is, and we've talked about this over here for a couple of weeks now, is this is what the rest of the season is going to be like for them. Every time they play one of these teams, especially on the road, it's going to be a Super Bowl. They're going to be fired up. And
the fans especially, too.
Yeah, and these are games where Memphis can't afford to lose them. They don't do much for you if you win them, but you can't lose them either. And these other teams are going to come out playing free, and they're going to have a much better effort tonight. They got 2 games this week. You're at Tulsa tonight, and you got SMU, which for somehow, even though they haven't beaten anybody, SMU is in the top 50 of the net right now. So that's actually a Q2 opportunity for them on the home floor on Sunday. And that's the biggest game that they have left on the schedule outside of the 2 FAU games and the game at SMU, which all 3 of those will currently be quad 1. So the collective of these games is important because I think in order to protect their seed, if you want to be a high seed, you can't drop too many of these. I would love to see them run the table. That's going to be extremely hard. because, like I said, these teams are going to be gunning for them, but they have to have better focus than we saw against Vanderbilt and Austin Peay. This Tulsa team is really good defensively. They do a good job of getting to the free throw line. They convert at the free throw line. And Memphis is coming in kind of ailing. I mean, you got David Jones hadn't practiced this week. He's been sick. Caleb Mills, of course, left the game against Austin Peay with a hip injury. He hadn't practiced this week either, so their kind of statuses are up in the air. If I had to pick, I'd say David Jones definitely plays, but we'll see on Caleb Mills. So I'd be kind of scared of taking that 10 points. I mean, I think the Tigers win the game, but
it could be tight.
Yeah, because what we saw the last two games, if they play like that, man, it's definitely going to be tight. If they play like the Tiger team that we know and love, they'll win this game by double digits and go out there and win it easily. But we haven't seen that in a couple games, so I think I have to see it to believe it.
Man, it's kind of I kind of had that feeling though. It's like I understand. I mean, they had you talk about a hell of a run they had after they lost to Ole Miss when they had to go to VCU on the road. Did not have their best performance. Pulled that one out late. Javon Quinterly was just buckets. Then they go down to Texas A&M and they dominate. Their defense was out of control. I feel like Clemson. I think it was only a 2-point win. But this is a team that in the first half missed like 23 pointers, but yet still pulled it out. Virginia, they just beat the brakes off of them. And when you have like 5-game stretch kind of like that, I can see when you're looking at Vanderbilt and Austin Peay that you come out there just as human nature, that you kind of just relax a little bit. These aren't ranked teams; these are people you're expected to beat. But just the way that Penny and how ticked off he was, and Caleb Mills, I know he hadn't been practiced, or David Jones, I don't know what it is. I feel like they come out tonight and just like Jalen Young, I feel like these guys go absolutely ham. And I just for me, I feel like they beat the tar out of them.
Yeah, I hope you're right, because if they play to their potential, there's no question. I mean, they win this game by 20 if they play their potential. It's just when they played these lesser teams, you've seen them struggle a little bit. You talk about that VCU game, didn't really play well there. Had to pull that one out late. VCU up most of that game. Even going back to some of the early games, Jackson State, I mean, I think they ended up winning that game by 17, 18 points, but Jackson State played pretty well in that game. The Tigers didn't dominate them in the way that you thought. So anytime they've played against these lesser teams, they just haven't seemed to have the focus. But now it's time. I mean, it's conference play. Like you said, they can't afford to lose any of these games, really. I mean, you lose one of these games, and it really hurts. I mean, right now, you look at some of the bracketology and some of the predictions, have them up there as a 4 seed. And if you're going to kind of stay in that area, 4 or 5, you can't lose any more than 1 or 2 of these games, especially outside of FAU. You really can't drop into these games. So they need that type of performance. I think I'd feel a lot better, man, if they get that type of performance. But I think I need to see it first. I think one thing that you take a big positive out of coming out of that game against Austin Peay is the performance of Naquan Tomlin. I mean, 15 and 15 in that game. He even knocked down a 3-pointer as well. He's going to be a fantastic boost for this team. I think he's probably going to eventually move into that starting lineup. I don't know if it'll be Jourdain or Dandridge that comes out, probably Dandridge. I just think he's been fantastic. And Malcolm's been really good as well, so that just kind of adds to your depth. If you can bring him or Jourdain out the bench, just makes this team that much better. But 15 and 15, man, like his third game, that's just kind of amazing to watch, man. I think he's shown you the type of impact that he can have, because they might lose this game. That game against Austin Peay if it were not for Tomlin.
Oh no, I mean Naquan Tomlin was an absolute machine again, and again Malco's had his best season as a Tiger. Do you put Jourdain on the bench and start Malco and Naquan together just to keep Malcolm mentally, happy at where he's at? Because remember he entered the transfer portal. There were a few issues. Or is this something where you just basically say, Malcolm, you're here to back him up because this man's he's running the court, he's blocking balls, he's getting rebounds, he's doing everything.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting question. I think team roster wise, kind of the way I think I would prefer Dandridge to come off the bench, because the way he's playing, I think he would be a big boost to come in for on that second unit, because I think he would really help that unit. So I think ideally, I would keep Jourdain in there and start Tomlin, but I guess it depends on how big the team is you're playing against. Like Tulsa, doesn't have. I think their biggest guy in their starting lineup is like 6'8". So Memphis will definitely have a size advantage against that team tonight. Rebounding won't be an issue. But like I said, man, Tulsa is really good defensively. And I think then they get to the free throw line, so you don't want to foul them and give them extra opportunities there. I got a feeling the crowd's probably going to be fired up. It's going to be a tough environment, but if this Tiger team, like I said, it's not about any of these teams they playing. It's all about them going forward. It's all about their focus, whether they're locked in. Because if they play even halfway to their ability, they'll be all of these teams. So that's what it's going to be about, their mental focus. And you talk about Penny, talked about that coming out of the P game. I'm sure he's been on them all week, so hopefully that message got through. And if it does, man, I'm with you. I think they cover that 9.5 easily. I don't think that'll be any issue. But, yeah, man, ideally I think you move Tomlin in and move Dandridge to the bench, but we'll see. Jourdain hasn't been here as long. You know how Penny loves his East guys. Malcolm Dandridge, one of the only ones left outside of Dayton. Dayton did play at East for a little bit. Basically the only one left. So it might be Jourdain that comes out, but I think that team balance-wise, I think I'd rather have Malco come off the bench. You don't want both of those guys to pick up fouls in the game, and if you have Malcolm coming out the bench, I think that protects him a little bit.
I actually love it, man. Isaac Simpson talking his business right now. We've been talking a little bit of the Tigers because, you know, they're finally back in action. We hadn't seen them play since Austin Peay. They beat up on a little bit. I mean, they struggled mightily against Vanderbilt, but there's just a lot of positivity around this Memphis basketball team. Going on the road, being 10-point favorite makes me feel good. I'm curious, though, with David Jones being a little bit ill, are you more worried about him or Caleb Mills with that hip pointer?
I think you got to be Caleb Mills because that's a kind of a physical thing. You expect David Jones to kind of get over this somehow. He played, didn't come out of the game against Austin Peay, even though he said he wasn't feeling great at all. Still had 19 and 5. So
he's a walking bucket, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be fine. I expect him to play for sure. I think you do have to be worried about Caleb Mills, and Penny has talked about that. Caleb Mills and even Devon Quinley, both of those guys have kind of been banged up the entire time they've been here. Penny said they just kind of playing through different nagging things. So this isn't really new with Caleb Mills. He's been dealing with some stuff all season and all during the workout. So hopefully this is not something that keeps him out. Hopefully he plays tonight because I think he's big off that bench as a scoring officer, and especially with Daquan Walton kind of struggling. You kind of need that offense from Caleb Mills until Daquan Walton turns that corner, man. I don't know what's going on with Walton because I'm saying he's
a really good basketball player. Yeah, it's in his head, man. He can't hit one.
Yeah, he was 1 of 4. He finally hit one late in that game against Austin Peay, but he's a much better player than what he's shown. What you saw from him in those first couple of games, that's kind of what you expected from him, and I think that's something that you can look to, I think, in a way as a positive, because I think at some point he's going to turn it around. Going into the season, I thought he would possibly be the second best player on this team, and he has that type of talent. And if he can get back to that, that's just going to make this team that much better. But when he's struggling like that, you definitely need Caleb Mills off that bench. So if he's not able to go tonight, I think that's going to be a pretty significant loss. Somebody's going to have to step up, whether that's Dayton Hardaway or Ashton, one of those guys. Somebody's going to have to step up and replace that scoring load if he's not able to go tonight.
Well, speaking of Ashton, that's like Ashton Hardaway right now. Everybody will remember the Michigan that first half that he had, where he was burying 3-pointers left and right. He hit 5 3-pointers in that game. Like it was. Since then, I don't think he's had maybe 6 3-pointers in the next. I mean, how long ago was that? What, the 10 games? I mean,
I know he didn't hit one. He hadn't hit one in the last few games. He looks like a freshman. I think a lot of people didn't even expect him to play this year, and then he came out early in the season.
He was getting double-digit minutes like the first 5 games of the season.
Yeah, played really well, and then he just kind of reverted back, I think, to what people kind of thought he was going to be. And I guess when you're a freshman, you're going to get that. You're going to have those downs, and he's been way down. But again, if Caleb Mills is not able to score tonight, somebody's going to go tonight. Somebody's going to have to take up that scoring load, and he's one of the guys, I think, Jalen Young off the bench, who I'm a big fan of. I think he has big-time potential on both ends. I'm really excited about him, and he's a guy that's going to be around here for a couple of years at least. So glad to have him in the program. He's really, really good defensively. But again, they need that scoring out the bench, and if Caleb Mills isn't able to go, I think Ashton and Dayton are the two guys where you look at that can create some offense. those guys are going to have to step up and make some plays tonight.
Man, I could talk Tigers all day. We got to take a quick break, though, Isaac, because we haven't even touched on the Grizzlies, Taylor Jenkins, and all that good stuff. We're hanging with Isaac Simpson. Do me a favor, don't touch the dial. Grizzlies on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando is growing. This family business started up 5 years ago with just one pallet, and now they have hundreds. Tim, the owner, gets calls from people everywhere and can sometimes save them up to 50% on wood flooring, carpet, tile, and vinyl. Jenkins Floors and More helps with renovations, home building, and installation. Jenkins Floors and More, number 6 East Commerce Street in Hernando. Also in Little Rock and coming soon to Tennessee. Call 662-469-9350 for more information. If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos and enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99 and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope, and they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
We all appreciate luxury. We love the newest technology. We want something that sparkles and looks great. Well, I've got it all in one place. It's called Genesis of Olive Branch, right at the corner of Highway 78. That's Lamar. And the first exit in Mississippi, that's Craft Road. Turn left and you will see Genesis of Olive Branch. And right now, you can get the 2024 Genesis GV70 starting at $49,480 with special financing as low as 3.49% on select models. How about the 2024 Genesis GV80? A little bit bigger, starting at $55,995, financing as low as 5.49% with a $2,000 rebate when trading a luxury brand. Call them. They'll even bring you a Genesis at your work or your home for a test drive. They're convinced that when you drive a Genesis, you're going to want one. Call 662-890-6684. Ask for Vinny. Genesis of Olive Branch.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to Little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Dacus. It's Thirsty Thursday, so you know I'm talking with Isaac Simpson. And I got to say, that's my favorite rejoin, Dacus.
It's a good one.
All the wisdom in the universe is in this bong. Do you know what I tell that to Chaz all the time?
I'm sure you do.
Like, she'll look at me like I'm crazy because I got this big old graphics, like 2-foot glass bong out with like some Gorilla Glue packed up to the rim. And she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm getting all the wisdom in the universe out this bong. I'll be doing the same thing tonight, watching the Tigers play, but it's time to talk about the Grizzlies. Last night I was hitting the bong because I was disappointed. I was sad. I was like, damn, Grizzlies, y'all look terrible. Terrible. And it's kind of bad for Taylor Jenkins. You know, he put the onus on himself. But how many times does he have to say, this is my fault? They came out flat. I got out-coached. Right now, a lot of Taylor Jenkins' hate was on the X last night. Isaac Simpson, what you think about that?
Yeah, man, it's tough right now. And I think a lot of this stuff, I think a lot of people are just coming around to it. A lot of this stuff with Taylor Jenkins isn't new. It was just kind of covered up by just having a lot of talent and them winning games. But if you really are a basketball knower, so to speak, if you saw a lot of the things that went on in those games, a lot of times they were winning despite of him. It's just the rotations, the feel for the game, the in-game.
The way they defend the three-point line, which is something it seems like he never corrects.
Yeah, the overhelping has been a problem for almost ever since Taylor Jenkins has been here. It is just their philosophy is they care more about defending the paint than they care about 3-point shooting in the perimeter. And time again, teams kill them there, and there's just no adjustments made. They just kind of stick to that same scheme, and that's been my issue with Taylor Jenkins. He just doesn't seem, when he makes adjustments, he makes them too late. That's what we've seen from him time and time again, and I just don't know if he's the coach to get him over the hump. I know a lot of people, they were 2 seed the last 2 years, but what do they have? What do they have to show for that? I think he was outcoached, and I know they had injuries, and injuries are definitely part of it. But I think he got severely outcoached by Darvin Ham, who right now in L.A. saying that he might be on the outside. I think he got severely outcoached by him in the playoffs last year. So it's a tough situation. The injuries and the roster construction is definitely a part of it. But going back to what I said, if you really know basketball, you can see that he, even with what he has, he's not maximizing talent. The scheme is bad. I think they still don't use Jaren Jackson Jr. as effectively as they could. There's just a lot of there's just a lot of things that aren't right with the scheme and just the overall the way that he coaches the game and the way they feel for the game, the rotation. I'm not saying they would win every game, but even when the team was shorthanded, they might have ended up losing those games. But there were better ways that he could have handled certain situations. I think that's what a lot of people, his defenders, so to speak, don't see. They just see, where it's injured or where we were 2 seed last 2 years. But when you really pull the curtain back and look inside the game,
X's and O's basketball. Yeah, that's the problem that people are having. And again, he got out coached by somebody who was on his staff previously, and this is not like the greatest Raptors team that we've ever seen.
No, and you got guys. I mean, that's a bunch of guys. You just got R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel quickly just got there. Pascal Siakam is probably a guy that's on the way out. I mean, that team's kind of in flux right now, and they came in here. I mean, you can't have that comeback at the end, but they came in and put it on them pretty good. That final score makes it look better than it was if you actually watch the overall game.
Well, that's the thing about it is, like, what is it with the Grizzlies in the second and the third quarters this year? It feels like, I mean, like the Grizzlies in the fourth quarter, they're money. If you can get like fourth quarter bets where they're down or whatever, they're going to score their points. They're going to go out there and they're going to dominate the fourth quarter as they did last night. But it's the second, third quarters, and it's been multiple games. Hell, the other night, God, I can't even remember who they were playing. They came out, and for the first 7 minutes, they didn't have actually a single field goal. The only points they scored was from the free throw line, coming out into the third quarter. What is it with that?
I'm not sure what it is. I mean, they've struggled in second quarters all year. The second quarter's been their kryptonite, and they have basically lose games because of that. They get outscored so bad in the second quarter that they're fighting uphill the entire second half, and a lot of times they can't get back to the game. Once you let a team get confident, it's hard to kind of stop the team going downhill. I'm not sure what it is. That's just been their bugaboo. I don't know if it has to do with different rotation that he plays in the second quarter, but it's definitely been a big problem.
Well, one thing that hadn't been a problem, and it's Desmond Bane. I asked this question yesterday. When we look, and I'm talking about, the not how bright the star is going to shine, but let's say 10 years from now, who do you think is going to end up being the better pro later in the career, Desmond or Ja?
I think generational talent-wise, I think you go with Ja, but Desmond Bane is legit. And
the work he puts in and that body that he's got, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I just look at him and I know that Ja is our superstar, but I just feel like, man, longevity, this dude's going to be here doing it for 15 years.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. And I'm really, with the numbers he's been putting up, man, he really deserves to be an all-star this year. But I got a feeling that he's going to end up missing out because of the struggles that they're having. But, yeah, man, he is really transformed his game. I mean, you talk about, especially, and we're not just on the offensive end, but on the defensive end. When he first came in, he really struggled to guard. He's really improved that area of his game. He's improved his handle. You didn't see him getting downhill the way he did until last year. That was something that he had to his game. He puts the work in. He is the ultimate gym rat, and you can just see it. And he's one of the best shooters outside of Steph in the league. I don't think there's any question. I mean, you see him come down, pull up inside half court, and you think every time he lets go, it's going in. I mean, he's been fantastic, and I think that he could get even better and better. He's added to his game every year, so you expect that to continue. And he's not getting the league that he should be getting. I mean, he's averaging 26 points a game through those first 25 games, and it hasn't been because of him. He's going to bring that hard at lunch bell, that effort every night, man. He's going to give you everything he has. So them not winning basketball games definitely doesn't have anything to do with Desmond Bane, man, because he's been fantastic this season.
He's been straight up, the best player for this season so far for the Grizzlies. Yeah, Ja's back. I love, and again, I'm not like saying anything bad about Ja. I'm just saying that as much love as we give him, I feel like Desmond Bane's insane, man. Like, he's become my favorite player on this Grizzlies team. Got to switch up just for a second because you do all the NBA. Remember when James Harden went to the Clippers and they lost their first 5 games and how terrible this team looked? Well, watch out.
I do remember that.
What the heck?
Old enough to remember that.
Yeah, old enough to remember that. I was tearing up my kinfolk, James. I was like, man, I don't want nothing from you for Christmas. Retire, you're terrible. All of a sudden, man, with Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, with Kawhi Leonard being healthy and sick, are the Clippers like, are they a team that could actually win it all this year if they can stay healthy?
I think the last part you said is the big question. And that's the part that you don't really believe in. If they could take this team into the playoffs, they're fully healthy, I definitely think they have that type of talent. I mean, they've turned it around. You talk about them struggling when James Harden first got there and people making jokes and said it wasn't going to work. Well, it's working now. That team is legit, man. When you talk about, because I mean, you can't deal with that. James Harden is playing at a really, really high level. He's playing the best basketball he's played in a while. He had moments there in Philly, but right now he's playing kind of like old James Harden within a system. He's not being wild and taking a whole lot of shots. And talk about Westbrook coming out the bench. Westbrook is playing really well right now. I mean, they got it cooking. It's just that can they stay healthy? Can Kawhi be there when you need him to be? And that's been a big question. But if this team is healthy going to the playoffs, I definitely think that they have a chance of winning the whole thing. But it's just hard to believe in that when you just never seen it with that group.
Yeah, it is something interesting to watch with the Clippers. The Lakers won the in-season tournament. Everybody was talking about LeBron and AD and blah, 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 blah. And James Harden and the Clippers were, trash. And all of a sudden, the best team in L.A. looks definitely like the Clippers. Now, I got to bring up another team that's out there in California, the Kings. I mean, Sabonis last night had 22 points, 23 rebounds, 12 assists, and I don't think he was even close to the player of the game. Malik Monk went absolutely banana sandwiches. I mean, when Paolo Banchero for Orlando has 43 points, and I want to talk about Malik Monk, he had a night. 37 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, a block, 60% from the field, and he dropped 7 3-pointers. Where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, man, he's just been nuts for that team.
Off the bench, too, by the way.
Yeah, man, off the bench. He's been fantastic. He's been almost unguardable. Like, he just kind of does it, whatever. Comes out there and does whatever he wants to. It just seems like nobody can guard him. I mean, we saw him here in Memphis on New Year's Eve when he came in, had a big impact on that game, and he's been doing that all year. He's a shoe-in for Sixth Man of the Year. He's been fantastic at just taking his game to another level. I can remember a time where, back when he was in Charlotte, where people were saying, we didn't even know if this guy was an NBA player, could stay in the NBA. And you see what he's doing now with Sacramento. I mean, he's just such a big boost for that team off the bench and a huge part of what they're doing. When they win games, you talk about De'Aaron Fox and all those guys, but Malik Monk, what he does off the bench for that team, man, has been tremendous. And he scares you when he comes to the game because it just seems like nobody can get a handle of him defensively.
Dude, he can blow by you, and he had two dunks that I didn't know Malik Monk can fly like that. And then
he's more athletic than you think. He is.
Yeah, he is. And then him just draining the threes the way he was last night, very impressive. Now, again, talked a little bit about the NBA because you cover the NBA better than anybody out there. It's Isaac Simpson. Follow him at IsaacW_NBA. Last but not least, Grizzlies head to LA. They do play the Lakers. This is the Lakers team that since the in-season tournament has been, sub 500. They're 17-18 on the season. What do you expect in La La Land?
Man, it's tough to see anything positive for this Grizzlies team right now, and I think they're kind of at an inflection point. Still 5.5 games out right now, and nothing that you've seen. I mean, you go into this homestand, Sacramento, San Antonio, Toronto. This was a homestand where I was saying that they need to go 3-0, and they come out here and go 1-2 on this homestand. And then you're struggling with a team like Toronto. Toronto is not even a good team, and they came in here and kind of put it on you. You don't feel anything positive about this team. You look at this road trip at the Lakers, at Phoenix, at Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough trip. This could be a point to where if they go 0-3 on this trip, which I think is very possible, that they could go 0-3 on this trip, I think you have to start thinking about maybe packing it up. Because if they go 0-3, you're probably looking at being 7 games out at least coming out of this trip. That's just going to be hard to make up because in order to get back even to that 10th spot, they're going to have to play tremendous basketball, and I just don't see it. I don't see them being able to win games at the clip that they would need to kind of surpass all the teams they have to pass to try to get into that play-in. Barring some big-time turnaround, man, I think after this homestand, I have a hard time seeing it, especially with the 3 games that they have coming up.
Yeah, their next 7 games are absolutely brutal. 3 on the road against the Los Angeles.
Yeah, then you come home and play some tough teams.
Oh, dude, they got Los Angeles, Phoenix, Dallas on the road. Then they come back to face that Clippers team where my kin folks tearing things up. I'll be partying with James Harden. I'm gonna try to take him out to the Gold Club the night before, get him a little bit tired. The Knicks and the Warriors and the Timberwolves, man. It's going to be a tough stretch. Man, do me a favor, Isaac. Tell everybody, like it's the new year. It's 2024. If you want to know what's going on in the NBA and the Grizzlies, where should they go?
Yeah, man, 2024 is Ethos Grizzlies, man. Make sure you check us out. Go over there, give us a like and follow. You already know on the Memphis Tigers, TigerSportsReport.com, and my personal X feed at Isaac_NBA.
And he gives me 30 minutes on Thirsty Thursday. Ain't nobody nicer than Isaac Simpson. Isaac, Happy New Year. Be blessed, my friend. We'll do it again next week.
Man, Happy New Year, brother. Talk to you next week.
Man, that's my homie. We're going to take a quick time out. You know what? I don't feel very good today.
No, you don't.
Most of the Memphians don't feel good. What was I doing during the break?
You were spraying that nose stuff up your nose.
Snorting Zicam, homie. Yeah, take a little Sudafed and Robitussin. Because we don't get no good scissor up anymore. Like, what's the point of going to a doctor when they just tell you to go get, hey, go buy some Robitussin or some Dayquil.
Right. Yeah, what are they doing for
me? Hey, Doc, do me a favor. If I come to you, I want a damn prescription. Give me that crunchy syrup like they used to. You know, I'd be singing on the radio right now if I had that stuff. I'd be singing good, too.
Yeah, you would.
We're going to be singing about the Ole Miss Rebels who absolutely dominated Penn State. We'll also talk a little bit about that Michigan Washington game. Evie is such a great person over at therebelwalk.com. She's your number one source for all things Ole Miss information. Don't touch the dial. Sports 56 98.5 FM.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
Paid actor portrayal.
I didn't see it coming. Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. The mortgage, car payments, and all the other bills. Even things like our annual summer vacation would be out of reach. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. I knew it was time to stop putting it off and get life insurance right now. I got on my computer and went to ethoslife.com. In just 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected. Thanks to Ethos, my family won't have to worry about the bills if the unpredictable happens to me.
Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GETETHOS.com.
There's no better time than the new year to resolve to protect your identity and finances. Identity thieves can take out loans in your name. Seriously, take over and drain your banking and investment accounts and more. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect your identity and financial future. LifeLock monitors your accounts and credit and detects potential threats to your identity that you may miss on your own. And if you do become a victim of ID theft, a U.S.-based restoration specialist works to fix it. Plus, all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, meaning you'll be reimbursed up to your plan limits for funds lost due to identity theft. LifeLock is the New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com. In both instances, use the promo code HERD, H-E-R-D, to save up to 25% off your first year. That's lifelock.com, promo code HERD, to save 25%.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a Thirsty Thursday, and everybody's got that Memphis crud, even Evie Van Pelt, and she's all the way down in Texas. Now, the good thing is, though, she gets to talk about an Ole Miss victory because they beat the brakes off of Penn State. Sad thing is, we got to do a little speculating. Speculation. Or reckless speculation, usually with me, but not with Evie, because she actually is somebody who's in the know. What's going on with Quinshon Judkins? We're going to talk about that and so much more, but first and foremost, Happy New Year, Evie Van Pelt. I love you with all my heart, and I'm so sorry that you're sick.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry that you're sick. It's a brutal flu going around. I know a ton of people who were in Atlanta who came back home with it. So we came home with a victory, but we also came home with the flu. That's okay. That's a good trade-off.
It is a good trade-off, actually. It was an unbelievable football game in the aspect, if you're just an Ole Miss fan watching it, of course, they covered the spread. They were underdogs. I had the money line plus 165.
Woo-hoo!
I mean, it was great. Everything was wonderful. The one thing, though, is now that the bowl game has subsided, we'll talk a little bit more about it. I got to ask you, how crazy are people right now in Oxford over Quinshon Judkins in the transfer portal?
Well, I think they're pretty crazy about it. I mean, not crazy in a good way, crazy, not happy about it. And, you know, he just tweeted a few minutes ago. I mean, we originally got word this morning in a tweet from Matt Zenitz that he had heard that Quinshon had told the staff that he had plans to enter the portal. Hadn't heard from Quinshon. However, just in the last few minutes, Quinshon tweeted that, he loved his time at Ole Miss, blah, blah, and that he has decided to enter the transfer portal. It was not made lightly. I believe it's the best decision for my personal and athletic growth. So, I don't know. We do know that the players who are playing like in a bowl game, like in the December 30th bowl game, the window to enter the transfer portal, if you want to transfer within the SEC, you've got 5 days after that bowl game. So December 30th, he has until midnight tonight to enter the portal. I saw an On3 tweet that said he has not entered it as of yet, but I think he has until midnight if he wants to play in the SEC next season, because the SEC, that's their own, separate rule. You can't do it in the spring. Like if he transferred, there's a window in the spring, so you could theoretically enter then, but you would not be able to play in the SEC.
In the money conference, by the way.
Win the money conference.
Mhm.
There you go.
Now, we have to think to ourselves, though, Quinshon's doing this just for a simple, he's learning from the Walter Nolan situation that, you know what, I need to go get as much money as I can. Is this just a thing where the Grove Collective needs to get out there and do it, and everybody down in Oxford needs to buy the Grove Collective vodka?
Well, yeah, I think they need to buy the Grove Collective vodka anyway, regardless. But, it's interesting. I spoke with someone pretty high up in the collective at the game who said that they had agreed. They had come to an agreement last week, with Quinshon. So, to me, I feel like, I don't know, maybe his performance against Penn
34
State.
carries, 106 yards now.
Yeah, against a defense that was only giving up a total of 67 yards a game going into that game. So pretty stout defense. So it could be that he felt like that gave him a little bit of leverage. I will tell you, just because we keep our finger on the pulse of all the social media out there, and we saw Ole Miss star receiver Trey Harris about an hour ago, within the last hour, put on his Instagram story a picture of Ulysses Bentley. So I don't know if that was just a way of saying next man up, or if that was just coincidental. I have no idea, but I thought that was interesting. So, we'll see. But I think the Portal King is pretty good at getting what he wants. So I've told folks I'm not really, obviously you never want to lose an All-American caliber running back like Quinshon Judkins. That's just ridiculous to anybody who says that's no big deal, because that is a big deal. However, that being said, I feel like Lane Kiffin and his system, he will find a great running back. I think Ulysses Bentley is a great running back. Kedrick Riscano, who was a freshman this past year, is also a great running back. And I tell you what, I think Ole Miss has one of the best running back coaches in the country in Kevin Smith. So I'm not worried. So step back from the ledge, Rebels.
All right, step back from the ledge, hopefully. I did have a text that came into me, and it said, it's not about money. It said check the Ole Miss Spirit Board. What does that text mean?
Chuck Rounsaville at the Ole Miss Spirit posted something earlier today on his message board, just saying basically that it wasn't about the money, that there was a chemistry issue going on. There seemed to be some issues throughout the year, maybe on the offense, and I don't know. So supposedly even maybe Jackson Dart, we've seen on multiple sites have reported that Dart called a timeout at one point in that bowl game to talk to Lane about something that was going on out there on the field with Judkins. So I don't know. So, here's my thought. I think that if you're the Grove Collective and you had an agreement, and again, my source was impeccable on this one, that they had reached an agreement. So I just don't feel like money is the issue. I don't feel like you can look around and see all these top players that Ole Miss got, but yet you don't have the money to pay your star running back. So I think there's more there.
I think there's more there. I haven't heard that in a while. I think there's a little more there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. All right, Evie. We're talking about Quinshon. That's a huge one. But did you how many people realize that Cade Prieskorn is coming back? There's so much coming back next year. In my opinion, if this team is not preseason top 5, then I don't know who will be.
Oh, I'm serious. I agree with you, and I think that I think some other things I've heard. I will say that nothing. Again, Lane Kiffin has been doing this for a long time. This is kind of going back to Judkins. If Judkins does indeed enter the portal, which at this point I rather suspect he will, you can bet Lane Kiffin has a contingency plan. So I just wouldn't worry about that. And, I think that top 5 ranking, I mean, it's going to sound crazy to say I think it could be with or without Judkins, but I really do.
I agree.
I agree. I think that, the Rebels are completely capable of going out there and finding a good running back in the portal. And again, they've got some really good ones coming back. And I don't know if you just saw this, but Lane Kiffin is pretty hilarious. He just tweeted, a picture. He's in the Bahamas right now, I think, and
Nice.
He tweeted catch and release.
Oh,
And
my goodness.
I don't know. So I don't know. But Lane's Twitter game continues to be strong.
Oh, my
So,
goodness. Like, I can take that way in 1,000 ways. I caught him. I'll now
That's
release
right.
him. Maybe he'll
Caught
come
and
back.
Catch and release. So anyway, but definitely to your point, I think top 5, top 10, definitely top 10 is realistic. And, it was funny when we hadn't heard from Dart yet and we hadn't heard from Quinshon yet last week. I told a lot of people, I mean, of course I would want Judkins to come back, but if it came down to it, I think the quarterback was key. I think if I had to pick between the two, I'm really glad we got Dart coming back.
Was that the best January 1st news that you could have had? I mean, it was New Year's Day when it was announced. I believe it was New Year's Day.
Yes.
I know I had to start thinking about myself. I was like, between New Year's and New Year's Day, there was a little time that I lost.
There's a little time there. Yeah, exactly. But it's funny. I saw even a Mississippi State account tweeted, Ole Miss with Q, playoff contenders. Ole Miss without Q, playoff contenders. So I think if even a state fan can recognize that, I think that's probably true.
I love this. Our regular Thursday sessions, I usually sound like I'm a genius because I ask great questions, but a lot of Ole Miss fans text me some of the questions I ask you, Edie, and a lot of them right now are kind of curious. What does this mean for Walker Howard?
Well, I have heard my sources indicate that Walker is not going anywhere, and I thought there might have been a possibility that he would, but from everything that I have heard, or maybe everything that I have not heard, he is sticking around. And same thing, I asked people close to, our freshman Austin Simmons, and they say the same thing. He's coming back also. So, there's a very, very good question because I think a lot of people, didn't know what Dart was going to do and thought if he decided to come back for another season, that might, affect Walker because he doesn't have any more red shirts or anything. But, and because as we know, they've opened up, where you can transfer for a second time and not have to sit out. But as far as we know, as of this moment on January 4th, he is still with the Rebels, and if he wanted to play, like we say, at an SEC school next fall, he would have to enter the portal by midnight. Yes.
I think I like what he's doing. He's staying with Lane. He knows the train's going good. Jackson's got one more season. Who knows what things could come in? I mean, next year's looking pretty promising. Now, I have to ask you just basically football questions because we're down to the national championship. Alabama. Yes, they did lose to Michigan, but the SEC has owned the Big Ten's ass, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, Tennessee went out there with Nico and beat the brakes off of Iowa. LSU dropped Wisconsin, and they weren't even playing anybody. I mean, what was it? Nussmeier playing quarterback?
Yes.
Ole Miss dropped Penn State like a bad habit. We've seen... basically the SEC beat up on the big slow, is what I like to call them. And now I look at this national championship game, and I see Michigan. Yes, their defense is great. They're number one in total defense. They're number one against the pass. But Washington's offensive line, number one rated team in the country, and you got a guy, a left-handed maniac back there, in Michael Penix Jr., who's throwing to like a Duze and Johnson, a bunch of guys who I think are NFL talent wide receivers. Who do you like in Monday's national championship game?
Oh, man, I tell you what, I've really got to go with Washington. I am a huge Penix fan, just a huge Penix fan. That kid has been through so much. I mean, he had at least 2 seasons. Season ending.
Four injuries that were so bad that they end a lot of people's career.
Right. And I mean, I tell you what, I was so impressed. I mean, even, we watch a lot of football in my house. And
you and your husband, David Walker, former Texas A&M quarterback.
Yes. We watch a lot of football. And I tell you what, I mean, David has been, we also watch because David watches lefties because David is a lefty himself. But there's just something about Penix. I love his release. I love how smooth it is. I love how smart he is. And you're right about that offensive line. And I am in a pool, and it is down to me and one other fella who is ahead of me. But it comes down to the final picks, and I'm just saying, I'm going with Washington.
I love that. I love it so much. We're talking with Evie Van Pelt, who she's under the weather, but she is that big of a trooper. I mean, she's been bitten by you had rabies almost this year. You dealt with that. You had you almost caught yourself on fire when you had to go interview Lane Kiffin with, I think, your curling iron. And now you have 103 fever and the flu, and yet you're still talking to me. That's just one thing. TheRebelWalk.com, that is your number one source for all things Ole Miss sports information. And I hear your puppy dogs.
Oh gosh,
how many you got?
You sure do. I have 2, and I have a blue heeler who's wonderful, and then I have a crazy black mouth cur that just showed up out here in the middle of nowhere where I live this last summer. And I mean, I really think she's kind of crazy. So, but what are you going to do? So we got her spayed, and she's just one of the gang now.
That's awesome. Now, speaking of one of the gang, everybody talks about Lane Kiffin, but Chris Beard. People are talking about Chris Beard, and people in the Southeastern Conference are actually talking about Chris Beard. Tell me a little bit about Ole Miss basketball and how the hell did it get here?
Man, I tell you what, are we not beyond excited for that game against Tennessee?
Yep.
I mean, good grief. I think that's where we're going to find out, a lot more about this team than what we know already. Although I think we know a lot about this team. But I'm really excited about that game and looking forward to covering it. I think given my current state, though.
Oh, you're not going to be in Knoxville on Saturday?
I'm not going to be in Knoxville. I think I'm going to. I've still got fever, so I don't think anybody wants to see me in Knoxville. And I do know several members of the Ole Miss media have the flu also, so I don't know what we were all doing there in that media hospitality room, but it didn't end well there. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's going to be. I think I read it's the 124th meeting of Ole Miss and Tennessee. Is that not crazy?
I did not realize that. That is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and the Rebels are one of just 3 teams in the country who are unbeaten. And this is just the second time in school history that they've begun 13-0. And I think the last one is, I want to say 2007, 2008. And what I tell folks, I'm not surprised by what Beard is doing because, and I think we've talked about this on your show before, his winning percentage, his career winning percentage in college basketball is 71.8. I mean, that's insane. I think that's ranks in 10th among active head coaches that have 10 or more years of experience. But that's the dude can coach. He knows what he's doing.
That's one thing. He definitely he knows how to win. Like, goodness gracious, I get why he's so upset when he loses. I mean, did you say 78% of his games he's won since he's been coaching?
71.8.
71.
So, yeah, think about that. I mean,
goodness.
to have come in and, again, he focuses on culture, and that's the word they have all over their locker room, all over their facility. It's what they talk about in their tweets. It's their hashtag, build the culture. And I think that, he's really, he takes a big photo after every home game down on the court with all the students. And, so I just think he's he's doing work. He reminds me very much of Coach Yo in that aspect, just supporting the school and the other teams in the school. And Lane Kiffin was at the game the other night, the right after the Sugar Bowl. The next day, men's basketball played Bryant, and Lane Kiffin was there courtside. So I think there's a real collegiality there in the program, and credit to Keith Carter for that.
Keith Carter, he's the one who had the I would say cojones to hire Lane Kiffin, to also then go out there and bring in Chris Beard after his departure from Texas. And everything's been pushing up daisies. It's been absolutely wild. The one thing, though, because I don't know, and when I'm asking this, I'm asking you this from my heart. When I watch this team, when I talk to my daughter, I talk to some friends, I'm always wondering who's the leader on this team. And I keep hearing that people say, well, the leader is not just one player. The leader is Chris Beard. And that's what I think really a real coach should do, because I understand that you got to get your guys to go out there and play. But when everything starts and stops with you, like when the buck starts and stops with you, that's what I think coaching young men is all about. And that's just all the things that I hear about Chris Beard.
Oh, it's really interesting that you make that point, because we're seeing that in the way he's coaching, and again, nothing against Kermit. I mean, Kermit had his style and everything, but a lot of times Kermit's style involved a lot of screaming. And it was funny. We noticed in the game against Bryant, in the first half, Brakefield fouled a Bryant player, and then 5 seconds before that, I think he'd missed a layup that was contested. Things got a little bit physical. Brakefield's foul knocked the player down. The game was paused to review for a flagrant foul. But the response from Chris Beard is what was interesting. He was really calm. He just looked at Brakefield and basically said in a few words, it was kind of a you know better, don't let it get the best of you kind of vibe. And to me, I think he's a player's coach. We also noticed kind of another culture kind of episode in the second half. Jalen Murray was charged with a technical foul after kind of drawing with a Bryant player. But then really quickly, some of the veterans on the team, Morrell, Brakefield, Brandon Murray, took Juju to midcourt, huddled, discussed the incident with him. Nothing was ever escalated, and I think this is a sign of a team that gets it. And I think that that's Chris Beard's culture coming from the top down.
I could talk Ole Miss sports all day long. One thing that does get let's just be honest and be real. We do forget about women's sports a lot. I mean, that's just the way the nature of it. It is the nature. But Coach Yo has her team rolling in the right direction. What are you seeing with what she's doing with the Rebels this year?
Well, they're quietly sitting over there after losing their starting point guard. They're at 10-3 on the season. They are fixing to open up SEC play today, as a matter of fact, at Alabama at 6 o'clock. And so they're going to start with Alabama. And I think the last time they played, Ole Miss snuck out a win there, 57-55. And I think it was on defense, if I remember correctly, a defensive play, because Coach Yo was really excited about that. So, I think that they're growing and doing better with, like I say, they had to replace KK Deans. I think they're Coach Yo has even said a couple of times, after that it's going to be a little rough, but we're going to get there. And so, it's hard when you have I think KK might have been a 5th-year senior, so to lose an experienced player like that. But I think tonight's game is going to be exciting. It's going to be really good to see. I think Alabama's 13-2. They've got a great coach, Christy Curry, so I think it'll be a good matchup.
Evie, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. I know you're not feeling well. I hope you go and take a little bit of time to yourself, get a little bit of rest, and I hope you're back to 100% ASAP. So thank you just so much. Happy New Year. You know I love you. Give David my well wishes.
I will, and I hope you feel better too. Hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy. That is Evie Van Pelt. Follow her at Ole Miss Evie and go to the Rebel Walk And I'm about to choke on myself because I can't breathe. Do me a favor, don't touch the dial. Hardwood on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Corky's Barbecue in Cordova.
What's wrong? You look bereft.
I am bereft.
What is it?
Well, there's only 3 Central Barbecue locations. The original Central Barbecue on Central, it's closed.
Oh, don't worry, little buckaroo. The location on Central will be back before you know it and better than ever.
But
Now, there's still the location on Summer. You love that one, right?
Yeah.
And there's still the Central Barbecue downtown and the Central Barbecue on Poplar. You love those too, right?
I do love those.
So you could go to those, and then when Central Barbecue on Central reopens, it'll be like Christmas, but with pork.
I feel better already.
We all appreciate luxury. We love the newest technology. We want something that sparkles and looks great. Well, I've got it all in one place. It's called Genesis of Olive Branch, right at the corner of Highway 78. That's Lamar. And the first exit in Mississippi, that's Craft Road. Turn left and you will see Genesis of Olive Branch. And right now, you can get the 2024 Genesis GV70 starting at $49,480 with special financing as low as 3.49% on select models. How about the 2024 Genesis GV80? A little bit bigger, starting at $55,995, financing as low as 5.49% with a $2,000 rebate when trading a luxury brand. Call them. They'll even bring you a Genesis at your work or your home for a test drive. They're convinced that when you drive a Genesis, you're going to want one. Call 662-890-6684. Ask for Vinny. Genesis of Olive Branch.
Is your home still not warm enough or running out of hot water? Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing, and we've got exciting news for you. Introducing Choate's Carrier Repair Buyback Program. If you've had HVAC or water heater repairs in the past year, you're in luck. Choate's will credit your repair costs up to $1,500 with a brand new HVAC or tankless water heater system. Yep, you heard right. Just bring your repair invoice from the last 365 days and get ready to upgrade your home's comfort. Say goodbye to those chilly nights and inconsistent heating. Choate's has you covered with various low-payment financing plans, making your upgrade more affordable than ever. Imagine a more efficient and reliable system keeping your family cozy all winter long. And here's the best part. This offer is a substantial boost towards a state-of-the-art heating solution. Ready to take the next step? Schedule your free estimate by calling 347-8086. And remember, turn to the experts with Choate's and let our family serve your family.
The only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Happy Thursday, everybody. Tigers play Tulsa tonight. Last trip to Tulsa. Hopefully you got your ESPN Plus. By the way, you know what? There's one thing I've brought up a few times. Jay Morgan, our good buddy, who used to take care of the show, he said I shouldn't talk about this. But I don't know why I shouldn't, because I can get it on my phone. But like I have ESPN Plus. I have the holy-ish package. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I got everything. Mm-hmm. But did you know that you can get any sports game, like period, from this thing called Dofu?
Mm-hmm.
You did know this?
You've mentioned it before, yeah.
Like this is such common knowledge. Like how come like people?
No, I don't think it's common knowledge. You've just mentioned it before. I didn't know about it until you mentioned it. I mean, I know there are things like it, but I was not familiar with this specific one.
Oh, it's the best. I get every single pro sports game, and sometimes I don't even look at my plus because it's always circling. But you know what? Quote my illegal jailbreak app. Doesn't have that problem. ESPN Plus, do me a favor and fix yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I love ESPN Plus.
Yeah, but don't do. How annoyed do you get when it starts doing the little circle thing on the TV?
I don't get that very often.
You don't get that very often?
No.
I feel like every deadgum Tiger game.
Well,
does
I
it
have
like 2
heard.
or 3 times.
I have heard that some Tiger games are bad, but that has nothing to do with ESPN Plus. That has everything to do with the feed it's getting.
Oh, so it's like who? The Xfinity or Comcast? Because I already hate those people.
No. It's like
charge me $260 a month. What a joke!
No, it's more like whoever is doing the ESPN Plus production here in Memphis.
Oh, they're not that good at their job.
Well, no, it's just the connection between them and sending it through to ESPN Plus. There's some sort of disconnect there. Because I watch 5 or 6 games a night on ESPN Plus, and I don't get that problem very much.
Damn.
Now there will be times.
Who's your service provider?
Again, it's ESPN Plus. There has nothing to do with
I thought
service.
you were talking about the one that the insertion person, the one who sends the channel to you.
Well,
or the receiver.
The receiver is ESPN Plus, but the sender is like different. I think they do the ESPN Plus broadcasts here locally out of Channel 5. I think I'm not positive, but it just depends. Everyone's different, and so I think that might be because I have seen on Twitter people complaining about Memphis broadcasts. A lot of the Memphis games I'm at, so I don't necessarily see all of the issues. But I mean, watch tonight. Watch against Tulsa and see if there's issues. I would bet money that there aren't. But Greg Gaston's usually on the call for those ESPN Plus games, and he does a fantastic job. So please continue to watch those ESPN
I love
Plus
Double
games.
G. By the way, you can listen to Greg every single day right here at 7 to 10 with Eli Savoy. Those two guys, they've been doing radio together, 17, 18 years?
A long time.
They are like
the OGs.
They're the well, yeah. But like, dude, they're still also like the fact that they haven't killed each other is a miracle. Like, dude, have you been married 17 years?
No, I've not.
No, you haven't, because I think you're only like 25.
I'm 23.
Close enough.
Tomato.
Yeah, that's right.
Been in a relationship for 7 years, so that's only 10 less.
When y'all getting married?
I don't know. When I'm 50.
Smart kid. I'm proud of you. I've never been so proud of you.
Thank you.
For somebody who just got engaged, I'm very, very proud of you. All right, now we are about to get into a little bit of hardwood where it feels so good, but I have to remind you of something that's very important, that looking good helps you feel good. By the way, looking good also helps you find a mate. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Like if you want to mate or procreate, you might want to look good. If you're on Bumble or Tinder or all these little, what are they, I don't know anymore, Bumble, Tinder. Give me another one.
Bumble, Tinder, oh my gosh, I've never used
Christian
any of them.
Mingle.
Farmers Only.
Whoa, what?
FarmersOnly.com.
I would love to get on Farmers Only.
Yeah, it's where
like
farmers
some straight up
meet and
good
mingle.
look, cute country girls.
Yep.
Man, like
you do the Texas Throwdown, a little do-si-do.
Some pictures on some hay with
That's
some
right.
dead gummit.
With some
man.
cowboy, with some
Farmers?
cowboy
Farmers
boots
Mingle?
on. No, FarmersOnly.com.
Farmers Only. I'm sorry, Chas. I am engaged to you. But I feel like it would be disrespectful I didn't take my shot at Farmers Only just because to make sure that I've done the right thing, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I've done the Tinder thing. It almost killed me. I figured like Farmers Only, though, I'm going to have to drive somewhere to like meet somebody around a farm.
I knew a girl in...
She was on Farmers Only?
No. I was friends with a girl either in high school or college.
Dude, she can choke. She can like literally kill a chicken, feather that joker, probably fry it up, and then choke them by night.
I guess so. But I knew this girl. This is the only time I've ever been on Tinder. I knew this girl in either high school or college. I don't remember. But she had a Tinder, and I would take her phone during class, and I would swipe left and right on different guys, if based on attractiveness and stuff like that, and try to set her up with somebody.
Wait, you tried to set up a girl that you dated?
No,
with other dudes?
No. I was friends with her, and we had the same
just
class.
friends.
And
like
so
friends with
she
benefits
would be on like
or friends?
No, just friends. She would be on.
Like, what is the point of having a girl as a friend if you don't have any
because
benefits?
we sat next to each other in class, John, so we were forced to talk to each other. And so she would be on Tinder all the time, and so she would give me her phone when she was bored of it, and I would go swipe left and right on different guys, try to play Cupid, basically.
You're very, you know what? You're a sweet young man.
Thank you.
If I had sons, which I don't, thank God, I couldn't imagine having boys. I think I would be a horrible father for boys.
Do you think so?
Like, I'm great with girls because I know how bad men are. So, like, I teach them to stay away from all men and, like, be, like, you know, good, strong women. Take care of yourself. Don't depend on a man, all that stuff. But if I had a son, I would make that man, like, bring me beer. Like, yo, go pick me up a sack of weed. Give me some fungus. Like, I don't know if I would care as much.
Interesting. My dad has me pick up dip for him sometimes.
Yeah, I don't dip though. I don't do that.
And go get me some chaw at the gas station.
Does he do dip and chaw?
No, just dip.
Just dip.
Same thing. Tomato.
Well, that was First World Life with Bryant Dacus and John Harden.
Thank you.
Now it's time to get back to why you want to look good. We were talking about procreation. Is that how we got off?
Yeah, I don't know. We got off on a bad
If you want to procreate,
spiral.
you want to look good. That means you need to go in and get the best leather, the best boots, the best hats, the best jeans, the best skirts, the best shirts. It's all at 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch. Bing, bang, boom. Let me tell you something. You walk in there, you're going to walk out looking good. You bring your girl in there, she's going to walk out looking good. And your kids are going to look as cute as can be. Frontier Western Store. And don't forget, frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967. Let's go to Hardenwood.
This is Access Hardenwood.
All right. Was that Matthew McConaughey?
All right.
Or just a really terrible Matthew McConaughey?
No, it was Matthew McConaughey.
You know, I was thinking about him because of Texas.
I love Matthew McConaughey, John.
I'm just glad they lost.
Did you see him running over to the bench and slapping guys on the back after they scored a touchdown? It was hilarious.
Dude, he was cup checking dudes on the sideline. I was like, dude, Matthew McConaughey's he's an absolute freak. Well, Tyreek Hill, did you know his house was on fire this morning?
Yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday morning. It was very
Okay,
scary.
well, this is why Twitter is very confusing to old people like me. So this morning I get up, on my feed, it has Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I hit on it. The first one that pops off is Rick Ross.
Yeah, he did like a live report from in front of Tyreek's house.
I thought this was happening like live.
No,
so I
yesterday.
was like, I'm watching this from my bed. I'm like, damn, Rick Ross, Tyreek Hill's house is on fire.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love Rick Ross.
Get some wings,
son.
son.
Rick Ross might be the most underrated big-time rapper in rap. I love Rick Ross.
Do you like his wings?
Oh, yeah. I love Wingstop.
Do you know, he should have said, you know how many wings I could have burnt in that house fire?
That might have sold a lot of wings.
That'll work. Oh, by the way, yeah, sorry, Tyreek Hill, about your house catching on fire. Good thing is nobody was injured. Nobody was there.
Good.
And Rick Ross threw in his 2 cents. Kind of like a, you know, my brother's a real firefighter, you know? Mm-hmm. Like he runs the whole Germantown thing. My brother's like dope. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Shout out Clint Harden, baller. Like, if you're going to overdose or if your house is going to fire.
Clint Harden sounds like the most firefighter name I've ever heard in my life.
Dude, he's coming to get you. He's like Superman with the damn cape. He's also very anal. And I don't mean he loves... I mean, you know how the word works, right?
No.
Like, he's just kind of like, that's what you want a good firefighter. You want him, like, he's all about, like, you know, procedure, process,
I like that.
doing it the right way. Me and him, brothers, both very good-looking guys. We kind of resemble each other. Totally different though.
Hard to resist a man in a uniform, John.
Totally different personalities, though. You know? Like, I'm more free-spirited.
Yeah.
He's more serious.
By the book.
But he wasn't there to save Tyreek Hill's house. Because if he was down in Miami, I can tell you right now, the only thing that would have burnt was the kitchen. Best firefighter I know, Clint Harden. Shout out Germantown firefighters. Now, did you know there's a guy named Jarrell Miller who, for some reason, is famous because he's a boxer?
Say his name again?
His name is Jarrell Big Baby Miller.
Oh, yeah. Something happened to him yesterday. I saw this story, but I didn't read much of it.
Well, he body slammed a car dealer.
Oh.
Can I tell you something? I feel like if I was on if this case goes to court, I have a feeling that I'm gonna be on the defendant's side. Who doesn't want to body slam a car dealer? Slimy a-holes trying to get every dollar out of you, pushing these cars all down your face. Like, dude, like, if you body slam a car dealer, should you really get arrested or should you get a hero pin?
That's a good question.
Because I'm sure this guy was trying to rip him off. Now, he did lose his mind a little bit.
I hate car salesmen, John.
The thing is, though, where he went wrong, where I feel like he's in trouble, is after he body slammed the car dealer, he stole one of their trucks.
Wow.
And I do have to feel like the other dealers, like, because there was at least 5 or 6 of these slimy dudes on the lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, for all you people out there that work here in Memphis on the car dealerships lots, you're not slimy. I'm friends with you. Hey, I got a couple of friends that are car dealers, actually.
My father is a car salesman.
Damn. You could have told me that. Like,
he's slimy, though.
Okay, good. You made me feel a little bit better.
I'm kidding.
I mean, he does dip. He does dip. It's kind of slimy.
No, it's not.
I mean, I'm not a woman, but like, if I was, I don't think I'd make out with dudes that dip.
Little mouth candy,
Little mouth candy. Gross. But Jarrell Big Baby Miller, not only, like I said, he body slammed a car dealer. He then stole their truck. And this was just outside of Miami. Like, there's a lot that's been going on in Miami.
Sounds about right, yeah.
That's my favorite city in the world still. I've had more fun in Miami than any other place, by the way, just so you know. SLS Club. Don't play no games. We have Tyreek Hill's house burnt down. We got fighters body slamming people. And then we have, naked skiing. Yeah, I'm really upset about this because skiing is a sport. They have it in the Olympics, bro. Did you know that?
And I guess
like
not the Winter Olympics, but the Summer Olympics are coming up this year.
They snowboard.
I want to
snowboard.
I would like
giant
to snowboard.
slalom. You can't snowboard?
Well, I've just never done it before. I would like to.
I bet you can't do it. I have a feeling that you're probably not. Can you wakeboard?
I've never done that either.
You've never done wakeboarding or snowboarding? Are you serious?
No.
I have actually snowboarded in Sea Isle Park when it actually snowed here.
Interesting.
And we tied our my ski rope to, we put it in the trunk and shut the trunk on it. And then we got behind it, and then we used our snowboards that we had, and we snowboarded through Sea Isle Park.
Interesting.
And I'm going to tell you something. Falling in Sea Isle Park on flat land behind a car going like 15 miles an hour hurts a hell of a lot more than going down a mountain.
I believe it.
I can promise you that. But you know what? I'm tough. I got up and I did it again. Ain't no crying in snowboarding.
That's right.
Ain't no crying in anything. But naked skiing I'm crying about because this is ridiculous. This is the most, can I say this? This is sexist. This is racist. This is every bad word that you could ever put on anything because there is it's called the Boot Tan Festival. It's an annual retreat at the Sunlight Mountain Resort. And it says that only females are allowed to come and ski naked on their slopes. But this year, they're not just letting females come. They said that you are either female or female identifying or non-binary. Bro, like, can I just say I'm non-binary and go watch a bunch of naked chicks, like, ski?
Skiing naked seems dangerous. I mean, hypothermia.
Why is it? Nah,
that.
dude, bro, come on,
cold.
man. It's beautiful day, sun's out, it's just a little snow.
Does not seem comfortable.
It's altitude. You get down low.
Huh.
I mean, let me just tell you something. There's going to be a lot of ladies that can cut glass. Maybe they should have a glass cutting seminar while this is going on.
Maybe.
But I'm just saying, like, realistically, why is it that they only let all the women come ski naked? Why can't men come? Do you think that we would screw things up?
Maybe. I don't know.
You think we would take the good time that they were doing, pound it into the ground?
I don't know. It just seems like a bad idea all around to me.
Well, there's an estimated 500 people have come every single year. They said that this year they expected to be north of 500 people. The event kicks off at the resort right when the sun comes up and goes all the way till 3 p.m. Because after 3 p.m., you don't want to ski naked.
Why?
Because then it actually gets a little bit cold.
Huh.
Like, it gets dark like at 5 o'clock.
So.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
guess so.
And by that time, you want to be drinking the bubbly, drink a little Tito's, sitting in like a jacuzzi.
Maybe a hot chocolate.
Dude, I'm going to this place. Like, I'm a little bit upset though. So, if I just got non-binary, do you get it put on your driver's license or something?
John, wrong person to ask.
Like, how does this work?
I don't know.
Well, I want an invite.
Hey, I mean, we'll do what we can do.
And I was looking through the pictures of these naked people skiing. Let me tell you something. Some good-looking ladies.
There are pictures on there?
You know I got pictures, son.
I should have known.
It's amazing how, like, these phones, they can pull up anything. Huh. Anyway, that was Hardwood. That felt so good. We got to close things out with a bet. The only problem is we don't have any NFL football tonight. We don't have any football, period, but we do have some college basketball. Your Memphis Tigers are on the road playing Tulsa. They're a 10-point favorite. Am I going to bet on it? I don't know. There's also some NBA action. You're going to have to wait around on the other side. Bets, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Looking for your next car? Give Car Corner a try. Car Corner, located at 2653 Mount Moriah. They specialize in cars under $15,000. Bad credit? No problem at Car Corner. CarCornerMemphis.com. That's CarCornerMemphis.com. They even have cash cars under $7,000. That's Car Corner at 2653 Mount Moriah. CarCornerMemphis.com. Look for the building with the teal green roof.
Case IH is a proud supporter of the Mississippi Farm Bureau, and thanks to a membership benefits partnership, Mississippi Farm Bureau members receive a discount of up to $500 on every qualifying Case IH tractor and piece of equipment you purchase. This discount may be used with other promotions, rebates, or offers. So join Mid-South Ag Equipment and the Mississippi Farm Bureau and pocket up to $500 in savings. Call Mid-South Ag at 662-890-3141 to get your discount today.
At Sissy's Log Cabin, you'll find only spectacular natural diamonds that will remain treasured for generations. That promise is now symbolized by the engraved Sissy signature and sapphire, representing our guarantee of extraordinary service, selection, experience, and quality. Stop by any of our stores or visit Sissy'sLogCabin.com and experience the Sissy's promise for yourself. Find a jeweler for a lifetime, only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
What's wrong? You look bereft.
I am bereft.
What is it?
Well, there's only 3 Central Barbecue locations. The original Central Barbecue on Central, it's closed.
Oh, don't worry, little buckaroo. The location on Central will be back before you know it and better than ever. Now, there's still the location on Summer. You love that one, right?
Yeah.
And there's still the Central Barbecue downtown and the Central Barbecue on Poplar. You love those too, right?
I do love those.
So you could go to those, and then when Central Barbecue on Central reopens, it'll be like Christmas, but with pork.
I feel better already.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Brian Dacus. He is the bomb diggity. I like him. He's a young kid, young feller. Been in a relationship for 7 years, but somehow found himself on Tinder. I don't know how that happened.
My friend's Tinder.
Sure.
I was looking at guys, and I wasn't even looking at girls.
Yeah. Sure, buddy. Sure. By the way, just so you know, Chess, I'm on Farmers Only right now. And the closest girl is 130 miles away, but she's already said yes.
Well, there's not many farms around here, John.
Dude, there's some in, I haven't got to Mississippi yet. Arkansas is close.
That's true.
I know there's a lot of good ganja farms in North Carolina. Did you know that?
Yeah, North Carolina is a good distance away from us, John.
It is a good distance away. But by the way, just for a little sidebar, do you know what Tipsy Tabs are?
You've mentioned them before.
Do you know that Tipsy Tabs have a lot to do with me?
I believe it, John.
And the Red Eye Jedi. You can get Red Eye Jedi, which is probably the best weed that you can buy legal in the entire country at the Spirit Shop, Kimbrough Liquors. I'm telling you, Red Eye Jedi's no joke. But Tipsy Tabs, man, like when you're sick like I am, you eat 4 Tipsy Tabs, sick. You ain't going to feel sick. Tonight, we got a little bit of NBA action. There's only 2 games, a small slate.
The TNT slate.
It is the TNT slate. Both games on the network. You got 6:30, the Bucks and the Spurs, and the Bucks now just lost to the Indiana Pacers. Did you know that they are now 1-4 in their last 5 games against Indiana?
Wow.
Bucks defense, one thing that didn't happen under Mike Budenholzer, they played defense at least under him. Mm-hmm. Right now, this team ain't playing defense at all. Figure it out. They're playing the Spurs tonight, who are absolutely terrible. Like, they're so bad that I want to vomit when I watch them. They're passing. Like, these guys, like, I watch high school basketball, and they are so much more efficient. They every fast break, the Spurs turn the ball over.
Yeah.
But Victor Wembanyama, he will be something great. But right now, he gets smoked. Milwaukee coming off a loss. Psh, they're going down to San Antonio. And let me tell you something. Do you know what you can do in San Antonio?
Go to the Alamo, John.
Dude, who gives a damn about the Alamo or the Riverwalk? There's nothing to do in San Antonio. I went there in 2008. It was absolutely the most boring city in the world, and I got my heart broken, okay? I got my heart broken.
I did too.
Mario Chalmers, I can't stand you still today. Even when you were a Grizzly, I tried to like you, but I didn't.
Way to stay strong, John.
But I'm taking the Bucks minus the 9.5.
I like it.
I'm taking Milwaukee. Milwaukee all over the Spurs' face. And then we have the Denver Nuggets and the Warriors, and I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Who knows who's going to show up? Warriors are desperate. They need this one. But, man, the Nuggets are a lot better. It seems like a game I wouldn't touch. But one game I definitely will play tonight, and I like it. Isaac Simpson knows more basketball than I do. He's a little bit hesitant, but here's how I feel. After watching Penny's presser against Austin Peay, after just seeing the way that they played against Vanderbilt and pulled out a 2-point win, these last 2 games at home, right before Christmas and the New Year, were kind of like they were just slow coasting. It's a new year. It's 2024. It's conference play. Memphis by 27 points tonight.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Go Tigers, go.
Yeah.
For Brian Dacus, I'm John Harden. Get out there, make the world a better place. We will see you on the flip side. Peace.
This holiday season, give the